Welcome back, everybody. I'm Trollman90. Looks like there's some free goodies. Come on, roll your gambit. Juggernaut, hey, it's an X gene. I'll take it. $50 for Spider Ham. That is outrageous as frick. Absolutely outrageous. Freaking ridiculous. Whoa, this Viper's incredible. Holy crud. Ideas. Oh, fantasy variant. Although not that well, I guess it's maybe a little fantasy, but she has a farm still. Wow. That's super cool. I really like that. I hope they make a fantasy album at some point. That'd be so cool. Well, that's very tempting, but not Mutant. I'm sure the Avatar too. Oh, that's so cool. I have my Celine pictures, but I mean, that's probably a screenshot worthy though. That's freaking great. We got Thor. Now this Thor is part of an album, so that guy has more value than other Ultimates, but Anti-Venom is tempting too. I think the Anti-Venom's super cool. But I should save that for other cards that might help me more. Win all 3 locations in a match? You have to do it 4 times? That's absolute madness. Although maybe easier in this game mode. I guess let's find out if this game mode even counts. Because that might be at the very end of the game. Now, I may need to switch decks for some of this stuff, but this is going to be a Sanctum Showdown. If there's more to do, I'll do it in Conquest or this play mode. Probably Conquest, though, because it's... How many days we have left? Yeah, there's like 3 days left. Interesting. Oh, wait, we can actually go for the new card. Yes, let's do that first. Let's go for the new card. Holy crud. Now, we have a 50% chance. We're looking at Laufey, the Frost Giant, or who I really want, and the whole reason why I'm playing this is Gorgon, the Mutant. Should be so awesome. And then Uncle Ben, like, described himself, but I will, like, open up and talk about a little bit of lore, depending on which one of these characters we get. Let's just ad-lib it, though. And here's the screen. Here we go. See what it's all about. Which shall we get? Happen home. Yes! We got Gorgon, yes. Now this guy does need an introduction. He's one of my favorite freaking mutants. I think I first learned about him in Marvel Puzzle Quest. I believe he was in Marvel Heroes as well, I believe. This is gonna be Marvel Gorgon. And he is Shishido Tomi, as in surname, last name Tomi Shishido in English. Absolutely awesome. He's known as Gorgon the Gorgon. Creators John Romita Jr. and Mark Miller. He's from Wolverine Volume 3, Issue 20. December 2004. Here's his Earth 616. Let's show it. There we go. Sorry, so that was a little jank. That OBS updated. They moved some things, but we got through it. Is a Japanese mutant with the ability to petrify those who gaze into his eyes, earning him the name Gorgon. Now that's the species that Medusa is in Greek mythology. Which is, it's pretty R-rated. I can't super mention it. But essentially, Athena does that to protect them from assailants, I'll just say. Though he prefers his sword, and typically covers his eyes. In his youth, he was approached by Kraken of Hydra. I don't even think this guy's in the game yet. Daniel Whitehall. That name's very familiar, though. And was given the sword. It's known as God Killer. Whoa. There's the sword. So the sword's named God Killer. Wow, that's pretty wild. So if he eventually used it to slay Phobos of the Secret Wars, and took Phobos' sword Grasscutter as a prize. Now, obviously, there may be some spoiler, I guess, but I don't think so. There's Grasscutter. As a high-ranking member of both Hand and Hydra, yeah, this is why he's pretty neat. The Gorgon has led the Hand Ninja Clan and served on the High Council of Hydra. Now, will this mention it? Will this mention it, though? This coming up may be even more spoiler. That's just general introduction. Generally. His unnamed parents, unnamed brothers and sisters deceased. Dang, they may have been mutants as well. Dang. Is it mutant alive, formerly deceased? Whoa, what the frick does that mean? Haha! Yeah, he said some messed up stuff, but at one point he does go good and joins the Japanese Defense Force. You hear him joining the Dark Avengers. Schmarful Puzzle Quest. Made a lot of that lore. He was at Krakoa, House of X. And here's the stat base. Ooh, Intelligence 5, holy crud, Strength 4, it looks like Strength, Speed, Durability, Energy Projection 4, Fighting Skills 6, wow, he's very good. Mutant Powers Rock Transmutation. Gorgon's primary mutant ability is the power to transform anyone that made eye contact with him into stone. Similar to the Gorgon Medusa from Greek mythology. He has telepathy as well. Gorgon possesses a moderate form of telepathy, the limits of which are unknown. However, he is able to mentally communicate with individuals as he did with Elektra. That makes sense because she's hand-related too. Gorgon used his telepathy, if I can even speak here, to mentally see everything around him, even when he was blindfolded. He typically uses his... Oh, that's how he can see while blindfolded and fight effectively blindfolded. Oh, that makes sense. He typically uses his telepathy during combat, enabling him to predict an opponent's offense and defensive strategies. Yeah, because he's not full evil. Generally, at least for some of the depictions I've seen of him. Because, yeah, that's why he wears his blindfold, because he doesn't want to turn everyone to stone. That explains how he can fight with the blindfold, though. So he's not like Daredevil, then. Which, shout out to the new show that's about to start in a few days, too. March 4th. And, that's actually an interesting thought. Ooh, could he be related to that? Possibly. That would be so cool if he's actually in that. I have no clue. I ignore spoilers like that. It just ruins the whole thing, in my opinion. But, so he's got that going on. He has emotional perception. It's the ability to sense other people's emotional, other people's emotions sonically, okay. Genius level intellect, yeah, I would say so. 5 on the scale, holy crud. Shishido is also a polymath genius, demonstrating extreme levels of advancement and expertise in a variety of fields through his life. He can process and analyze multiple information streams quickly. What is this? Eidetic memory? What the? Meaning that he never forgets anything and has perfect recall. Oh, wow. Speed reads and high deductive reasoning. Heck yeah, shout out to speed reading. Oh, it's another word for photographic memory. That, interesting. And apparently he was resurrected at some point, post-resurrection. Well, this goes on and on and on, but here we go. Superhuman strength. The physical strength was enhanced to low superhuman levels. At his peak, able to lift roughly 1 ton, he was stated to possess Class 2 superhuman strength. Superhuman speed. Gorgon's capable of running and moving at speeds possibly within the range of 115 miles per hour. Holy crap. Superior to that of the finest human athlete, he demonstrated bursts of speed that, at least over short distances, made him too fast for Wolverine to see, even with his heightened sense of sight and hearing. Superhuman stamina. Gorgon's advanced muscular produces. What the frick is that? Less fatigue toxins during his physical activity than the musculature of an ordinary human. The full limits of his stamina aren't known, but he can physically exert himself for at least 24 hours before a buildup of fatigue toxins in his blood began to impair him. Like, this is this is so DC. Like, they explain everything. I mean, so much like Marvel, unlike DC. Like, some of the DC stuff they just don't explain at all. This is super cool, though. Gorgon's skin, bone, and muscular tissues are augmented to levels that are considerably stronger and harder than human. And the tissues are impervious to injury to an extraordinary extent. Regeneration. Gorgon possesses an accelerated healing factor that allows him to rapidly regenerate damaged or destroyed bodily tissues. The full extent of his healing powers are unknown. He has shown the ability to regenerate damaged/missing organs. Holy crud. He may be immune to all diseases, infections, poisons, nerve toxins of any kind, and is completely resistant to diseases like those shown there. I don't know if I can say those words. I don't know if I can say those words. Superhuman agility on this platform, anyway. Gorgon's ability, balance, and bodily coordination are all enhanced to levels that are beyond the limits of even the finest human athlete. Superhuman reflexes. Gorgon's reflexes are similarly enhanced and are superior to those of the finest athletes. Gorgon demonstrated sufficient reflexes to enable him to deflect oncoming bullets with his sword with surprising ease and casualness. There it is, fully explained. Abilities, genius intelligence. Gorgon is a certified genius possessing... Didn't they already go over this? No, this was his post-human thing. This is just his general mutant genius, or it's just his general genius. Apparently, Gorgon is certified genius, possessing superhuman intelligence in multiple artistic and scientific areas. His great intelligence enables him to quickly learn and master multiple forms of martial arts. He is a formidable combatant, a master of multiple martial art techniques, and is also a master swordsman even before his resurrection. Weakness. The Gorgon is not immune to his own powers. Should he see his own eyes in a reflection, he will turn to stone. Oh, interesting. I believe that's true for the Gorgons as well, though, sometimes. Also, some beings are immune to his powers, like the demigod Phobos. Now, why is that? I don't know. Here's Phobos. Oh, this might be why. He was taken by another deity. Well, that's interesting. But I'll go over that if he's added to the game. Let me know if you guys want to learn anything else about him, but he looks like he's got a little bit here about his weaponry here. Paraphernalia, excuse me. There's fur in there. Equipment. Sunglasses. Gorgon always wore a pair of dark sunglasses that are completely obscured. That completely obscured his eyes, so instead of a blindfold, he wore glasses sometimes, enabling people to look at him without being turned to stone, as the glasses blocked his ability. Whether the sunglasses were composed of a special material or were simply a pair of ordinary sunglasses is unknown. Oriental mask. After his resurrection, Gorgon has been taken to wearing a ceremonial mask that enables him to better control over his petrifying gaze. It is currently unknown what special properties allows this effect. He seems capable of viewing his opponents without turning them to stone. Weapons. Swords. Gorgon almost always carried and used Japanese katana in battle situations. That's a plural word as well. Well, he had access to the advanced technology of the hand, Hydra, and Dawn of the White Light. He preferred close quarter combat. That sounds spoilery stuff, so I'm not going to look at a Dawn of the White Light there. Because that may be part of the new MCU that's about to come out. But that's super cool stuff. I could be wrong, though, but, I mean, If you guys request it, then I'll look into it. But yeah, I'll just do it on that thing so people know to click the video or whatnot. And that's super cool. There's a general background of what... I mean, a SHIELD agent would know about him anyway. And that's super flippin' awesome back in the game. Now, speaking of SHIELD, it looks like he counters SHIELD decks. Ongoing, your opponent's cards that didn't start in their deck cost 1 more. This, I think, is amazing. Now, here's the big question. Let's claim him. And then Laffy will be guaranteed next time. Hopefully we can get that. As long as I can put the time in, I think it's very, 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 very likely we'll get it. Considering my win rate, generally. But you do never freaking know. And give me 40 power. Now, I'm finding a fair amount of decks that are actually using that he might be good in. We could ditch Enchantress and add him in here. Fenris Wolf could be removed too, but I think we like Fenris Wolf in this deck. I generally do anyway. Now here's the big question. Does he make Ashram cost more? I think there's only one cool way to find out, and that's just to use him. And to see if they actually are costed more. But a lot of the time this game misses that insanely key details. When the cost of a card is changed, they don't show its active change cost to the opponent. The player sees it, but the opponent doesn't. So it can look ultra confusing occasionally. Which is not cool. Yeah, it's not this deck, it's the villain deck. No, it is this deck. Yeah, this is the deck. So we could ditch Goose and add him, because this deck is made to just destroy Ashram decks. They were so frequent, and I was blessed with winning enough to actually get Cassandra Nova here. Goose is good too, though, because it stops its higher cost cards that they play a lot, but it's harder to pull off with them making Taskmaster more here. Apparently Taskmaster hasn't gone through Mastery yet. Apparently he has not.
3D.
You know what though? We could just use this deck too. I actually haven't tested this deck yet. We might as well. There's 2 weeks on this event. I might as well test my strongest decks and just see how they do. I'm guessing we ditched Goose, but Goose is so cool. Dang it. I wish I had a Gorgon picture for this. I mean, we can leave just Master Mold here. Interesting. This deck has an Odin as well. Switch back to my favorite Odin. Who's this one? Well, actually, this is for villains decks, actually. No, we'll keep this Odin. Isn't this like a villainy Odin? Maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like he works with the aesthetic for this deck. I'll use the other hero Odin in my other deck. And decks. But I can just use a different Odin in each deck. Yeah, I have enough now. All free to play, by the way. Because Cosmo can hurt us too. And should Cosmo leave for Red Guardian? Could that possibly be a better counter to an Ashram deck? I'm not sure. Because Red Guardian can't counter herself. Maybe we try that. We add Red Guardian and we add in... Oh, but no, we want Cosmo because the game mode we're playing. We're in a special kind of game mode. I gotta think about this. We're in a special kind of game mode. It's just... No, I think we just gotta use him, man. He's too cool. Even if it's weaker, let's just use him. Gorgon. Here he is. Add him in. Your opponent's cards that didn't start in their deck cost 1 more. So in theory, maximum of 6. That's kind of the game. That could go to 7. That actually maybe should go to 7 because of Ashram, but they don't want to be too mean to just Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. decks. And Iceman has the same type ability. Ongoing. He's an ongoing card. Okay. We can't counter ourselves. That's good. Always check. So that's nice then. That means Gorgon can play with Cosmo. Although, if they stop one ongoing ability, they'd stop the other, so watch out for that. Potentially. We ditched Goose, who was another ongoing card. We'll just see. I don't know if this is better. Goose stops more turns than this guy. Well, if he just makes everything cost more, essentially we're kind of doing the same thing, but I don't know if we truly are. Because the idea of Goose was that Goose is played where Cassandra Nova is, and you're just going to hopefully win, and then you can also Mystique into it. But sometimes I would lose with that, though. Okay, well, thanks so much for watching. You can like, you can sub, you can do all that stuff, but you don't have to do that at all. And it's just going to be a big video next time. It'll just be the lore of Gorgon. See you next time, everybody. AKA Shishido. Tomi. And that's Japanese. You always say the surname first in Japanese, so I'm going to keep that tradition. See you next time. Later. Because, yeah, most likely he's known as just Shishido, because probably almost no one calls him Tomi in Japanese. Like, Shishido-san. Anyway, later. And once again, he is a villain most of the time, but I believe he does, at least in some lore, end up a good guy, running his own Japanese self-defense force, because I've read that before. When he was announced, I looked into it a little bit. See you next time, everybody. Later. Because, yeah, he was so fun to fight in Marvel Heroes. So fun. And then he's pretty fun in Puzzle Quest, too. Later. And remember, Excelsior. Stay mutant strong. Stay marvelous.